Good morning, everyone. My name is Riya Thanke and my ID number is 21DCE135. My topic is Architecture of 80186. First of all, we see the introduction. Now, what is 80186? 80186 contains 16-bit database. The internal register structure of 80186 is vertically identical to the 8086. But the only difference is between the 80186 and 8086 that 80186 contains the additional reversed interrupt vectors and some very powerful built-in I/O features. Double performance than 8086. So these are the basic features of 8016 overcome the 8086. Now we see the architecture of 80186. As you can see in this slide, there is a bus interface unit, clock generator, programmable interrupt controller, programmable timers, programmable controller register, etc. We will see all of these one by one. First we see the clock generator. Now what is clock generator? The internal clock generator replaced the external 8284 A clock generator used with the 8086 microprocessor. This reduced the component count in a system. The internal clock generator has three pin connections X1, X2 and clock out. The X1 and X2 pins are connected to the crystal that are reponents at twice an operating frequency of the microprocessor. The clock out pin provides a system clock signal that is one-half crystal frequency with 50% of duty cycle. The clock out pin drives other devices in a system and provides a timing source to additional microprocessors in system. Now we see bus interface unit. Bus interface units provides various functions including generation of memory and I/O address for the transfer of data between outside the CPU and EU. There is a prefetch queue that is used for prefetching the instruction. The 80186 is 16 pins bitless package, so it has enough pins to send out both the minimum mode type signals RD and WR and S0 to S3 status signal, which can be connected to external bus controller ICS for maximum mode system. It doesn't have a pin labeled like minimum or maximum like 8086 for switching the minimum mode through the maximum mode. Here it is the programmable interrupt controller. The PIC attributes all the internal and external interrupt and control up to the external interrupt. When an external 8259 it is attached with the 80186 microprocessor, function is at the master and the 808259 function R is a slave. If the PIC is operated without the external 8259, it has 5 interrupt inputs INTO, INT3 and NMI. But the connecting 8259 with CPU, we can increase the interrupt handling capability. 8259 combines the multi-interrupt input sources into the single interrupt output. Interfacing of single PIC provides 8 interrupts inputs. So simple, without attached 8259, we cannot handle all the interruption that are occurs in microprocessor, but with attached 8259, we can handle all the interruption. There is a timer. There is a timer that the timer is 0, 1 and 2 type of timers. The timer 0 and 1 generate waveform for the external use and driven by either the master clock of the 80186 or by an external clock. The third timer, the timer 2 is internal and clocked by the master clock only. The output of 2 generates an interrupt after a specified number of clocks can provide a clock to the other timers. Timer 2 can also be used as a watchdog timer because it can be programmed to interrupt the microprocessor after a certain length of time. Now we see programmable DMA unit. For the execution of program computer, it requires the synchronized working of more than one component of a computer. For example, processor providing necessary control information address buses to transfer information and data from memory and I/O device. The interesting factor of the system would be that it handles the transfer of information among processor and memory I/O device. Usually processor control or the process of transferring data right from initiating the transfer to the storage of data at the destination. The add load on the processor and most of the time it stays in the ideal status, thus decreasing the efficiency of the system. To speed up the transfer of data between IO device and memory, DMA unit is used. DMA controls the transfer data between minimum intervention of the processor. And there is a programmable chip selection unit. It is used to select the chip and register. The chip selection is an inbuilt programmable memory and IO decoder. It has 6 output lines to select memory, 7 and IO select. The chip select is a command pin to many integrated circuit which connect the IO pins on the device to the internal circuitry of the device. When a chip select pin is held to the interactive state, the chip or device is stiff and pays no need to change its state of other interactives. It holds its output in high impedance state so that chips can be drive those signals. When the chip select pin is held to the active state, the chip or device assumes that any input changes it hears are meant for it and the respond if it is only chip bus because the other chips have their chip select pins interactive state, their outputs are high impedance, allowing the signal selected chip to drive its output. Now power save or power down feature. The name itself, we can identify that this is saving our power. The power save feature allows the system clock to be divided 4, 8 and 16 to reduce the power consumption. The power saving feature is started by software and excited by the hardware events such as interrupt. The power down feature stops the clock completely. The power down mode is entered by the execution and hold instruction. It excited by any interrupt. Thank you.